You and Jen obviously had really hammered the idea of what has changed in the last generation, which is this idea that we have come from Israel is benevolent to it is time to see dramatic change. Do you think there was one specific incident that we can point to where things really changed? I mean, I think that when Netanyahu came and spoke to Congress, and even after Obama said no, and he insulted the president of the United States in such a horrific way, and I'm not a big Obama supporter in any way, but I'm curious if you think there was an incident specifically that came.
If I had time to elaborate, yes, I would definitely include that, because you just saw what a racist Netanyahu was.
Yeah,
it was pure racism. You ask yourself a simple question: if it were Bill Clinton who had been president, and Bill Clinton wanted to sign the Iran agreement, and it's perfectly plausible he would have wanted to sign the Iran agreement, and then Obama said, and then Prime Minister Netanyahu said, I'm coming to your Congress. You can have no doubt that Bill Clinton would have picked up the phone, called Mr. Netanyahu's office, and said, hello, may I speak to Prime Minister Netanyahu? Hold on. Mr. Netanyahu gets on. Shalom, Bill. Bill says, Bibi, did I read correctly? You're coming to Congress? Really? What the fuck are you doing?
He wouldn't have tolerated it. He wouldn't have tolerated it.
It couldn't have happened with a white guy.
Right.
I'm not one of those people who reduces everything to race.
Yeah.
But it's because Netanyahu is such a Jewish white supremacist.
He is so he is. He
grew up in Philadelphia. His father was like a bonkers racist. Racist. So it couldn't have happened had it been a white president. Do you think Jimmy Carter would have tolerated that?
No.
Of
course not.
Couldn't happen. So I totally agree with you. And as I said, if I had time, I would elaborate on your point. But I think your point's absolutely correct. That was a very critical moment. That's why Biden took many days before he made his first call to Netanyahu. I think it took 2 weeks before he would even call him, because he was the vice president at the time.
Right.
And he didn't like, if you excuse my language, he didn't like that kind of shit.
Right. No.
You don't carry on with the president of the United States that way.
Yeah. And again, we can't thank you enough for coming on. Obviously, this has been a very important conversation. We definitely would want to have you back for sure, because it's still too early to tell what's going to happen with Bennett now becoming the prime minister, and if that's going to change anything.
No,
it's probably not. But again, is it?
It's sort of like the difference of Biden becoming president. Did that change anything?
No, not really. But is there a possibility of a positive change? Yes, there's also a possibility this could get worse. So it's still too early to tell. But like you said, there definitely has been a dramatic shift in this conversation.
We have to look at different levels. There's the level of popular opinion and public opinion, and then there's the level of the political process. And one doesn't right away translate into another. As Bernie Sanders pointed out ad infinitum, 80% of American people support single payer. So at the level of public opinion, you won the battle for single payer. But to translate that into a political victory, that's another battle. It's a very hard one to win. So I would say it's an important victory, the shift in public opinion, but it hasn't yet translated into something substantially political, although it is true to say that the so-called squad gave Biden a lot of trouble over his last support of Israel during the attack. So politically, you began to see things happen.
We're seeing it. We're working on it.
Yeah, everything is unfortunately a slow drip to some degree, but I think it's dripping in the right direction. And Norman, thank you so much for coming on. Again, Norman Finkelstein, check out his books. His most recent one, I Accuse, highly recommend. And of course, you know, this is a
Always.
very controversial topic, is Israel-Palestine, but one that must be addressed. And we thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.